On the morning that Lincoln died, someone emptied the contents of his pockets and placed them in a box, which was wrapped in brown paper and tied with a string. Robert Lincoln passed the box on to his daughter, who presented it to the Library of Congress in 1937. Labeled "Do Not Open," it remained locked in a vault until 1976, when the string was untied and the paper unwrapped as the library staff looked on. The morning he died, Lincoln had in his pockets a pair of small spectacles folded into a silver case, a small velvet eyeglass cleaner, a large linen handkerchief with "A. Lincoln" stitched in red, an ivory pocket knife trimmed with silver, and a brown leather wallet lined with purple silk. The wallet contained a Confederate $5 bill, bearing the likeness of Jefferson Davis, and 8 newspaper clippings that Lincoln had cut out and saved. All the clippings praised him. As president, he had been denounced, ridiculed, and damned by a legion of critics. When he saw an article that complimented him, he often kept it. One clipping found in Lincoln's wallet quotes the British reformer John Bright. Shortly before the presidential election of 1864, Bright wrote to the American newspaper publisher Horace Greeley and said, "All those who believe that slavery weakens America's power and tarnishes your good name throughout the world, and who regard the restoration of your Union as a thing to be desired, are heartily longing for the re-election of Mr. Lincoln. They think they have observed in his career a grand simplicity of purpose and a patriotism which knows no change and does not falter." So I chose a book about Abraham Lincoln. Quite frankly, I chose it because it kind of caught my eye because Abraham Lincoln was on the cover. But actually what I found was that he was a very simple guy. He grew up in a log cabin, 1-bedroom log cabin to, a mom and dad. His mom, I'm sorry, I had the hiccups. His mother died young, and he kind of sought after kind of like the bigger picture. Like, he always thought there was more out there for him. So he actually became a lawyer before he ran in politics or anything like that. But it wasn't until like the prior to the Civil War where things started to get heated when it came to slavery and things like that. That is when he decided to really, enter into politics because that was a passion of his. After that, he ran and then he won. And then he continuously fought, obviously, to end slavery, obviously with a lot of criticism as well. One of the most interesting things I read in this book was the fact that he actually had a dream of his assassination before, I think it was like a few nights before he actually got assassinated, and I never knew that. He said that he told one of his White House councilmen about it, and he said that he actually didn't sleep that night. So it's kind of eerie to actually read and account for a dream that he had where he died in the exact same way that he said he would. I think the purpose of this book was to really bring to light and, honestly honor the things that he did throughout his life and things like that, because I think we really focus on who he was during like the abolitionist movement and things like that. We never really focused on the type of man he was beforehand and what brought him to that, to wanting to fight and to wanting to fight for people who obviously were oppressed and treated poorly. So it was very interesting, and I really liked to read it. I just like to apologize. I had hiccups and they're not going away.